All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining once again. We love having you. James Looper's in the house. Happy Monday. It's Labor Day. So, all of the hard workers out there, you get a day off, maybe barbecue and all of that good stuff. But yeah, tonight for a special holiday episode of Get a Grip, we're going to have Isais. Some people know him as Gonzalez, some people know him as Zed. It's okay. He's the team captain of Team Ryze in North Carolina, and we're happy to have him. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I am fantastic. Did you have a good holiday?
Yeah, I've been pretty chill. Got to work out today. Had to go to work still for a little bit, but we got it done.
Good. Well, it sucks that you had to go to work, but
always, yeah. Yeah, that's the airline industry for you there. Yep.
Oh, airline. Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Airline and retail don't really care about Labor Day.
Oh, of course not. Corporate greed, right, baby?
But Shane the Oak Owens is here, Mr. Bicep Isais.
Shane, that bully. Nah, always not, man. I love Shane.
He's friggin' awesome. I love Shane. Yeah. I love Shane. One of the best out there for sure. And I'm proud to call him a friend and a teammate. So it's really cool. So same thing I do with everybody, man. I want the community kind of get to know you a little bit. Basically how long you've been doing it, what got you into the sport. This is more like a conversation than an interview. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's just two dudes chopping it up,
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you're trying to get to know me, man, I mean, as far as when I got started in October is going to be 3 years. Right. And yeah, as far as what got me into it, I was watching arm wrestling for a few years, like most people. Devin, right? Devin, same story, right? And just started watching it, man, and I got more and more of a curiosity to try the sports. And then I'll never forget my first time going to practice was with these twins. They were 18. Names are Mikey and Tony Hasbrook. Their dad is Skip Hasbrook. He's a pro. Yeah. And it was so humbling when I first tried it with them because I'd been at that point strength training on and off for about 15 years. And then these kids just like whooped me. And I was like, oh my gosh, bro, this is something else. And so I just started getting into it from that point, bro. And so the group started off with me and them, and then two other people, Nick and Neil, which you're familiar with there. And I mean, we just kept at it, and the group has thankfully been growing since then. A lot of guys who are passionate about the sport. And I mean, just hoping to keep growing from here, man. So, yeah.
Good. So you're currently ranked in the super heavyweight in North Carolina, correct? Right and left, or just right, or what?
Just right. Yeah. Currently number 4 since Levi dropped off there. So I still consider myself number 5 until I earn a spot, but yeah, we're technically number 4 now. So yeah, man, I'm gonna miss Levi, man. I did want to have a super with him. Maybe.
Hey, you never know. Like so he was supposed to be moving to Florida, then he didn't move to Florida. I don't know if he's going to attack the list again. Right now he's doing a lot of photography. He's doing automotive photography, and he's got a good eye. I don't know if you've seen his stuff, but he's got a good eye for the colors and the angles. So, we wish him the best. Obviously, I always loved pulling him. He was amazing. Good kid. I've known him since he was 15. I mean, he joined the Carolina Rollers, and Nick and I were the captains, and we took him under our wing. And even from day one, nobody wanted to hook the kid.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah.
Nobody wanted to hook the kid. And then, it was funny because it's like he took it as a personal insult that I could top roll him, that I could wrap around his wrist. Man, you gave him a year and all of a sudden I couldn't crack his wrist at all. Like he was just doing this all day, every day.
Every day, man. Every day. Yeah, that kid is crazy. Definitely a gifted kid, man. I always wish I would have started around that age, man. It's just they got the jump on us, man, and we're just trying to play catch up here.
Yeah, there ain't no catch up. Look, us old dudes are going to get as good as we can, and we're going to watch all of these guys that we train pass us.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Try to hold on.
All going to go away.
Yep.
There isn't much we can do about it.
Yep. Try to do as much damage in the meantime.
everybody always points to like, a Devin Laird or a John Brzenk or a Michael Todd. And they're like, oh, they've been doing it for 30 years. And look at them. They're in their 50s and 60s. Yeah, they've been doing it for 30 years.
30 years. Yep.
There's a little bit of a difference. I've been doing it for 5 and I'm 46. Like, hello.
Yeah. So I got a few good years left. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, shit. When I'm 76, there's gonna be a lot of people that be like, I can't move this guy. You're damn right, son.
Oh yeah. We'd be like the King George, man. Be like King George.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm going to arm wrestle too at 76. Yep, keep bouncing off of it, son. I'll get to you eventually.
Oh yeah, dude. Good stuff, man. Good stuff there.
Yeah, speaking of, you got a hell of a King's. You have more of a King's hook.
Well, I mean, it's kind of been developing into that a little bit with the you grouped up with Antonio and his brothers before. Antonio has really opened my eyes to the potential of that move there. And I was doing it more to the outside previously with the Kings there. But, with the way he did it, I found that for anybody who's curious, it seems like a much more effective way to climb, to rise into somebody's hand the way he does it. I would always have trouble with that, the way that I would do it. Like you can see, for example, in my match with John, that even though I was able to get the King's move, I was having a lot of trouble gaining height. And he ended up, taking that 3-0. And so with that right there, it's definitely something I'm still trying to get used to. But it's very eye-opening the way he did. I'm like, man, what are you doing, man?
Is it more of like a rocking motion? So you're climbing with the bottom of your hand and then rocking through the top? Yeah. Okay.
You got it. Yeah. As opposed to just like trying to do this awkward thing on the outside is so weird.
Well, so it's weird because of the way we're built, right? Like with my hands, that way, like the outside way is much easier, right? Giving that knuckle to clear your top knuckle and then climbing is so much easier for me. I watch Devin's videos and then I pass it on to people who don't watch him like I do. And I turn around and say, look, it's the art of giving in order to take. Yeah. So, I give a little bit to come up over the top and take.
The kickback.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, it's definitely, yeah. I mean, I was making it work there for a while. And, but yeah, I mean, if I get your help not doing the move, then we're going to stick in the center.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, if we can stay in the center or, stay on A side, fantastic. If we can just get a clean, crisp top roll, yay.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, if we have to, it's good to have. I mean, I like having an open top, especially for guys that I know that are just so much stronger than me, like center table, or they have a wrist that I just can't crack by going straight back. I will give this way so that I can gain this way, and
yeah, always excited about that. I mean, that's one thing I've always appreciated about that technique. Like a lot of people, they hate on the King's move a lot for a variety of reasons. But for me, honestly, I think that's I know a lot of people are gonna laugh when I say I think it's peak arm wrestling. Like not the all the way below the table type stuff. Right. Yeah. But when you're doing it properly, one of the things I really like about that is that it really forces you to think as far as what your next move is gonna be.
Yeah, and, I mean, people don't give it enough credit for the technical ability that it takes to set the traps in order to set a King's move. They think that it's just a desperation move. And yes, hanging underneath the table with a straight arm is absolutely a desperation move. 100% guaranteed. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It shouldn't be allowed. In most cases, it's not allowed. So, we can move on from that. But as far as a proper open top or King's, it takes a ton of technique, a ton of thinking, a ton of trap setting in order to get it to come off right, where you don't just get to completely destroyed right off the rip.
Exactly.
And it's a purely defensive move. I mean, if you screw it up, you got nowhere to go. You're in a corner. So, you better know exactly what you're doing when you get there.
Yeah, exactly. And there's definitely, very valid ways. I mean, a lot of people, they don't really realize just how effective a good press is against it. And they're always trying to just, I mean, work on your flop, work on your cup press and all that stuff there. And you'd be surprised. I mean, because Antonio's brother, Fernando, it's so funny. I'm stronger than him off center, but once I start getting a little bit tired with Fernando and I bust out that King's, his ability to work the angle of his press, I just there are guys that are much heavier than Fernando, and I can, work the Kings and still get over them and get my position. I cannot do that with Fernando because Fernando has been training against that king's move with his brother for years now. And it's just like, it just goes to show, like, if you work the counter, it's going to come into your favor. And his press is crazy. I'm just like, it gets me so mad because I'm like, I can't get Fernando tired. He knows what he's doing. I'm just like that's
the key, right? That's the key, is stay patient against the Kings. Like, if you're against a good Kings mover, stay patient. Don't try to just rush it. Hermes versus Michael was an absolute clinic.
Yes.
On how to pull a Kings move. He stayed tall. He stayed right up here. And he just continued to climb. And then when he thought he had it, he would go a little bit, climb, a little bit, climb. And then when you think you have it, climb one more time and then go for it. You know, exactly. It's just one of those things where, you know, I mean, Devin knows how you how to beat it. He tells you all the time, you gotta stay up and climb. Climb.
Just keep climbing. Yeah, and even like Georgie Zaranov versus Todd. I mean, that to me was extremely impressive. Like, even though Georgie ended up losing that match, like, that first round was ridiculous.
Yeah,
like that was
those crazy ass moves of his. Yeah,
that drag, man. And he actually ended up beating his riser. He beat it clean with a cup, just top roll.
Because Mike was like, "Yeah, I'm good," and then he's like, "Oh shit, no, I'm not."
He lost, and he was like, "Holy shit!" There aren't many people that do that.
I was sitting here watching it like, what?
Yep. Clean, bro, just clean. So definitely counter moves to it, man, for sure.
You know, one of the things that some people may not know about you, and no, I'm not bringing it up to make fun of you as much as people may think so, but you're vegan and you're that strong. Yeah. So, like, tell people how that journey came around. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously we all know about Alexei Vovoda, and that was kind of like vegan's god for a while. But I mean, even he's admitted that he's no longer vegan. So it's like, you know, how does that path go? Like, where you do that, you know?
Sure. It's a great question because there's definitely a lot of misconceptions still, and I think there's going to be for quite a while here. I mean, So it's been about over 8 years now that I've been a vegan, and so as far as like when it comes to strength training, it's really just about doing some research to see like what because most people are concerned about protein intake as athletes, and so I wanted to see, you know, protein wise, how much do I really need. What's going to work for me and that kind of stuff for appetite reasons and that kind of thing as well. And then, so once I found my number, I started just looking at different food options. There's definitely a bunch of whole foods. There's definitely a bunch of more processed options. Yep. You know, like if we're talking whole foods, things that I'll typically gear towards are going to be things like tofu, a variety of beans. There's miscellaneous protein sources from like what most people would consider carbohydrates, like potatoes and pastas and oatmeals and like I add everything up. You know, it's all part of the game, right?
Right.
And so I mean, we got that there, and then some on the more processed side. There's, you know, your faux meats, right? For a variety of time, anything you can think of, really. There's a vegan version at this point. Yeah. And I mean, so that's basically that. And then, I mean, I typically shoot for 150 grams of protein a day. And if I'm cutting, that's going to go up. And carbohydrates are obviously very easy. You know, everything, like most carbs are already.
Oh, yeah. Carbs are super easy. No matter what you're doing, carbs are super easy. Yeah.
Exactly. And then I know omega-3s are a concern for a lot of people there, like fat-wise. I mean, there's things like walnuts. There's omega-3 supplements from algae that you can take as well. So as far as like,
that's interesting. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there, but that's interesting. I'm learning here, so don't take it the wrong way. Algae, isn't that considered an actual like animal though? Right?
No. It's not like a sentient being or anything like that.
Oh, okay. So it has to be. I got you.
Yeah. So personally, like when I think about, you know, what I value,
Lucky's here. Sorry, I was saying, what's up, Lucky?
Oh yeah. And so what I care about, like if you're asking, because veganism is like an ethical thing, right?
Yeah.
So like what I value primarily is going to be sentience, right? So as long as it's not sentient to me, then whatever. But not to get too deep into that one.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, this is how people learn, though, right? I mean, you know, so yeah. So basically, if it can think for itself, if it can make decisions, then it's off the table.
More like if it got a subjective experience, that kind of thing, in the same way that we would like interpret, you know, like each other to have, you know, like when I look at you, I can kind of tell, you know, you have the ability to feel pain, well-being, joy, suffering, that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I've heard, everything's off the table if it isn't, if it has any type of digestive system or whatever. And then of course my logical brain is going, well, grass has a digestive system. Trees have a digestive. Like, what do you like? You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
there's certain conversations that make no sense to me. And then when because I've had conversations with you before, and they do make a lot of sense to me. So that's why I enjoy talking to people like you that at least make a logical argument for how you believe. So. Yeah,
for sure.
But when you get the ones that are just like, if it has any type of, if it involves nutrients, and I'm like, everything does. Photosynthesis. Have you ever heard of it?
I'll tell you some, because I like talking about the ethics too, and I like to be like, I'm a very honest guy. I'm honest to the point where a lot of vegans don't like some of the things that I say, and so you might find some of this stuff interesting here. So like in situations where I would find it not ethically problematic, like people look at the optics, but I actually care about like the foundational ethics of these things. So like, for example, roadkill, like it's distasteful to want to eat it, like for most people. But if there's a situation where an animal died by accident, I'm not going to sit here and make a qualm about somebody choosing or natural causes or something like that. If somebody, wants to eat an animal that have to die naturally. And so that's number one. Another point, I don't know if you've heard this one before. It's like there's this booming conversation in the vegan community. It's very controversial about like how we would handle like first order predators in the wild, as far as like, if it's ethical to let wild animals still continue to predate. If we have the means to prevent that.
So for me, as rough as it is, I'd be like, well, nature's nature, let it take its course. You know what I mean? As rough as that would be to watch, but it's one of those things where that's what's going to happen whether you're there or not. So why interfere, in my mind? Go ahead. So
yeah, for sure. And like, it's just because like if we have the ability, like I think, it just follows from the premises of the logical vegan arguments for ethics that if we have the ability to stop it and still in my opinion like still provide for these animals to live, right? Or even if we didn't, that we should stop predation, right? So that's definitely like a big like conversation right now. There's a lot of like details behind that, but it's one of the more interesting things that I've gotten into since becoming a vegan. I really have to think about that for a second because intrinsically, like a lot of people, they see a lion eating and it's like, oh, the lion's gotta eat. Yeah, but like, is it ethical? Like, if we can stop it to let the animal continue to inflict harm on another sentient being, because I mean they're taking away from the autonomy of that other animal, So it's like. It's an interesting conversation.
It is, because that would be the first thing that I would say. Like if you happened on a African safari and, you see a lion eating a gazelle or whatever, a Cape buffalo, whatever. And it's feeding its family that way. Yeah. We could say the natural order of things, right? I mean, as far as whether you're a science-based believer or whether you're a religious-based believer, either way, it's the natural order of things for there to be predators and prey. Okay.
Yeah.
And then my thing is okay, let's say you can stop that lion from eating that whatever, okay, that prey item. What are you going to feed him that is not meat that he's also going to be okay with?
Exactly. Yeah. So
it's got to be meat because that's all he is. He is a 100% carnivore. He's not a berry eater. He's not a bear. He is 100% a lion. So
exactly.
Like, what exactly are you going to be able to feed that dude that isn't going to end up with you on the next meal?
Oh yeah, exactly.
So, that's where I would kind of go immediately in that conversation would be like, even if you could, how would you?
Yeah. It for sure would end up taking a ton of logistical measures to actually, enforce that kind of belief system, right? And so that's like really like futuristic thinking right there. It's like it's definitely not going to happen any time in the next like 1,000, probably at least years.
And then you also have to have the philosophical conversation of whether or not we should.
As
far as human beings, why should we? And I'm not doing this to come at you. I'm just saying.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Like, why should we as humans inflict our belief systems on not only other humans, but other animals, other species? So, it's like, it's a hell of a philosophical debate besides a logistical debate.
Yeah. There's a ton that goes into it. Yeah. And a lot of, like I said, even a lot of vegans don't like the path that goes down. They're like, bro, just let the lions do what they're going to do. Just let the alligators, and all those other predators just do what they're going to do and leave them alone. And I'm like, yeah, like I get the other side. Then it's like, I get both sides there have some pretty interesting things to say there. So yeah, that's one topic that I know a lot of people have not heard about, as far as like how deep the ethics can get.
Ryan Woody says, I thought this was an arm wrestling podcast. Somebody talk about pronators. I mean, it is, but it's also a get to know my guest. And this is, one of the most interesting things that I've come across with you is your veganism and the fact that you don't treat it. And I hate to say it this way because it shouldn't offend you, but it should offend others. You don't treat it like a cult. You know what I mean? You have your own belief system, but you're not going to force it down somebody else's throat. See, with me, my personal beliefs are, if you're a vegan, cool, good on you. You should never try to force me to be one. And I'm never going to just serve you a steak and say, hey, dude, you're out of luck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be respectful enough of your beliefs to never try to, force feed you my beliefs. And I expect the same. But we can talk about it, however. But I mean, I think you'd agree that there's a ton of people that treat, whatever, insert belief system here, whatever it is, as a cult where it's like, no, you have to believe what I believe. And I think that's complete bullshit. Honestly, I really do.
It's definitely, it's an interesting thing to talk about there. Like on one hand, there's always going to be, I feel, a pressure because it's an ethical imperative that, is founding the belief system, just like, with Christianity and other religious systems, right?
Oh yeah. Now we're really getting into it. All right, let's go.
But you're just always going to feel like that inherent like push to want to speak more about it because of that. Right. And it's like, you just want, you have convictions and that's, absolutely. I will say like, compared to years ago, I have calmed down a lot. Before I will say I was very open and provocative about
I remember
the veganism. Yeah. And,
I remember,
a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And like one of the reasons why I don't post about it on Facebook as much anymore in particular is because like I've come to like this kind of point now where I'd rather not keep getting into like these heated debates with my friends and family. Yeah. Like if I'm going to talk about these things, I'd rather just do it with people that a lot of times, like my friends and family basically know where I stand at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather do it with a lot of other people, still talk more openly about that kind of stuff.
Not only that, but you got to pick the right type of people, right? Like, you got to pick people that not only have a modicum of intelligence, okay, where they can at least listen to your side of things, but also that are not going to just fly off the handle because they disagree with you. And are not going to treat their belief systems as a cult. Okay. So you have your own responsibilities of not treating your belief systems as a cult. And then your person that you're talking to would also have to have those responsibilities. So in this day and age with the way that, the current climate is, it's a lot harder to do that. A lot harder to do that.
It is. I've definitely had a lot of interesting conversations. I used to have much more patience for these kinds of conversations too. And like once I see like certain things like that people will do like with their little conversational strategies, I can either like determine if are you worth having this or not, just like instantly basically. And it's just like go from there.
So Kurt Welsh says that he is more interested in what shampoo you use as to whether or what you're eating. And see, I'll defend this. I opened up this line of questioning, and the reason why I did is because Isais is super strong, and I think we all know that. Everybody that's watching this channel knows that he's very strong. It's not common to come across vegans that are super strong. Yes, you have Alexei Vovoda. Some would say he has the genetics of a god to begin with.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter what the hell he eats. You know what I mean? So, so like a quote unquote normal guy, it's not very common to find a not only strong, but healthy, strong vegan. So that's why it intrigues me. And I thought that at least the community would want to, I
could go a little bit more into detail too about like the strength thing. Yeah. I mean, historically speaking, I've always been into powerlifting, basically since I was 15 years old. And so that's always been like a background of mine when I was eating meet previously there. And yeah, I mean, so I mean, I had a good foundation. Like people always say, like, oh, like you built all that muscle using, you know, eating meat and that kind of stuff. When that effect, like even if I had been a vegan at that time, you know, under like proper nutritional guidance there, I would have achieved equal, if not more, results. Right, just doing it as a vegan back then as well. And but yeah, so that's my background. And I feel like I've always been a pretty naturally, like, not stupid strong, like elite level, but I've always been like a little bit above average compared to a lot of people that I come in contact with. And I think a lot of that has to do, you know, with my frame too. My leverages have pretty short limbs, so I'm pretty built well for a few lifts there. So that goes in my favor there. And but yeah, man, I mean, besides that, it's just like, you know, paying attention to my body and, you know, just trying to do as much. Like this whole stint that I've been going through lately with the bicep tendonitis has been one of the bigger setbacks that I've been dealing with in my training. So even my vegan superpowers couldn't stop this one from happening here. So it has gone better though.
So can you use chemicals like BPC 157 and stuff like that, or no?
Yeah, the peptides, I believe BBC is vegan. I haven't looked a crazy lot into BBC, but I believe it is. And yeah, even if I wanted to jump on, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, gear use and that kind of thing. I mean, gear use is largely vegan. There's very few.
Yeah, because obviously it's derived from natural stuff, and then the chemicals are just chemicals. It's not like they're made from animals. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to the next subject because you and I could talk about this forever. I know we can. So, you know, but I don't want the community to be like, oh, all he did was talk about vegans.
It's so interesting.
I do find it interesting. I mean, it's not like I'm going to ever become one, you know, spoiler alert. But the thing is I still find it interesting. I find it interesting how people think and what makes them tick. Always.
Of course.
Always. So speaking of, what's your philosophy on the table? Like, how do you approach a match? How do you get ready for a match? You know what I mean? Like, you got a big match coming up. What's your training block look like? What's your mindset? What, you know, the day of, leading up to it, the whole nine.
Yeah. So as of late, as far as like my mentality, I mean, obviously just typical lock-in type stuff and try to stay as consistent as possible while hopefully remaining injury free. So as far as, you know, once I'm on the table, I like what John Brzenk does, which is he tries to remain as calm as possible, he says. That way he doesn't like expend a lot of energy on like adrenaline dumps and things like that prior to actually pulling on the table there. And so I like to think like that. So in a lot of my matches as of recent, you'll like, I mean, I haven't had like a crazy lot, but sometimes I'll just go in there. Like my last match with Jack Waters, you saw I was very calm when I was going up to the table. So that is something that I'm going to try to nag more, but I might switch back. We'll see. I might go back to screaming mode again and slapping the table and that kind of stuff.
And then both work. You know what I mean? Both work. I don't know. Did you see my last match? I was very calm.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. I did let out a little bit of a roar after round one because for me, everything for me was round one, right? That was my first match back after the operation. So I had no idea where I was, what level I was at. You know, and obviously, you know, my team says that I feel really, really good, but it's like, that's, you know, a lot of it can be team bias, no matter how good you trust your team. A lot of it can be very team, biased. And I just went into it as calm as I possibly could and tried to stay very level headed. And then afterwards, you know, let out my roar and then had a great talk with Robert and it was awesome. And Matt was great. He said Matt says very calm. Thanks for sticking with me. No, man, I didn't give up on you. Matt.
Good old Matt. Yeah. I think somebody asked who my next opponent was.
Lucky was asking.
Yeah. So coming up in the backyard brawl and then the Rumble at the Rooster, I think it is. So the backyard brawl.
Wait! You already set matches? I thought you were waiting. I thought you were taking a break. All right, never mind. Lucky,
that's after my break. That's after my break. Yeah,
this is all breaking news, man. Go ahead.
so yeah, I got from your team, PJ Allmore. It's still like up in the air for the 6th of December, and then after that, I got Jake Colson on the 20th. Woo. Yeah, so that one could definitely prove to be very interesting there with Jake Cole. I mean, I've never felt PJ, so I don't know.
Well, Jake Colson put the brakes on Michael Broom, brother. I mean, I'm just saying. That's a beast.
Yeah. I'm not, yeah, I definitely understand. Jake's a very strong. I haven't pulled right with him in a very long time. The last time I pulled right with Jake, I think was over at Jonathan Hauser's practice like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's scary too, because Jake is so new that 2 years ago he probably felt like a wet noodle. And today he's a completely different dude.
yeah. I'm gunning for, I'm shooting for the stars there, but I definitely, I'm not blind. Jake is definitely a beast, training with Bryce and Jake Green and all them guys there. I mean, he has a fantastic group up there.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a match. Like I said, I'm a big fan. I think you're super strong. I'm just saying that's a hell of a match.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So there might be fireworks, y'all. There might be fireworks. So we'll see. I will say, like last time I gripped up left with him over at Layton's place, he wrecked my left. It wasn't even like he was just holding me, and I was like, okay, but that's left.
Yeah. Dude, my left used to be so damn strong, and now it is a wet noodle. My 5-year-old can legitimately beat it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Matt says PJ is making moves. He's taking matches for experiences, and this will be great for him. He's going to be a monster once he gets connected, and that's true. PJ is so naturally strong, and he's got all the leverages, and he's big. When he gets everything connected, it's just like every other new guy, right? Once we get connected, he's going to be something to behold. You know what I mean? Now, I mean, he's, super strong. Whether or not he could connect it that day, I don't know. But like, it's weird, right? We've all been there not that long ago where we were those amateurs kind of getting into the mix and you had these flashes of greatness, like where one day you just showed up and you were Devin, man. Like everything just worked. And then, you go to practice next week and just get destroyed by somebody that weighed 160 pounds. Like, what the hell's going on here? Because your brain just hasn't made the connections yet. It was there for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of where PJ's at. Some days he shows up to practice and I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, man. Definitely. That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to see what he feels like. It's good getting this, like, how long has PJ been pulling now?
To be honest with you, I don't know. He's Matt would know better than me. Remember, I'm kind of a new transplant to that team myself. I've only been training with them for a few months. So
definitely.
PJ's strong. Oh.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to both those matches. It's exciting. It's going to be my comeback matches from this break. So hopefully by then I'll be able to get in a good training camp and properly prepare for it. Because right now, I'll be honest, like pronation training is virtually non-existent, and I've been known for my pronation, and so that's like one thing. Like I'm trying to keep up with the cupping as much as possible, and just like general strength training in the meantime while I'm working around this. But all this is like.
So what is it? The pronator that's bothering you, or the tendon?
So it's like right here and like the short head, and then leading up into here. So anytime I do like pronating back pressure in particular. Like if it's super heavy, like nearing like 90+%, it will flare up pretty bad. And so that's what it's basically preventing me from.
That sounds like it might be a brachialis injury.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like originating in here and then so it's aggravating, because every time like my top roll, I got like one good top roll in me, and then I'm just like, dude, I gotta just let that go.
Yeah, Matt says that he just hit his year mark, so literally a year in. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. 1 year. Yeah, so that's exciting for sure, man. A lot of room to grow there.
And one of the things that like I just absolutely love, about PCP, Port City Pullers. For those of you who don't know, I don't mean drugs. I mean PCP, Port City Pullers. They're all sweethearts of humans, man. They really are. Like PJ will literally give you the shirt off his back. He is just an amazing human being. So Matt says you need to back up. You're so damn swole he couldn't see what you were pointing at.
Oh yeah. Mercury is like right here.
Shit. That's your brachialis, buddy. Because look, that's exactly where you can't really see it with this.
Okay.
That's there you go. See how there's two lumps?
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be. So the bottom of my brachialis actually separated from the short head of my bicep, or the long head, whatever the outside one is.
Yeah.
It's separated from that. So my bicep can now contract without the brachialis being involved, which means that my back pressure is suffering.
Man.
Yeah, because you think about it, your brachialis is your main, hammer curl.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it makes sense because I haven't gotten it officially diagnosed, but what you're saying actually makes sense. Yeah, because that's when it's like, yeah. So
yeah, that to this day, I always flare up right here.
Yeah,
right, and
still there, yeah.
my brachialis takes a hit on hooking or on top rolling. So like it's funny because Shane's in the chat. We've been talking about hooking a lot, and I tell him, look, it doesn't matter how hard I go, my elbows don't hurt. Like they just don't hurt. It's always my brachialis.
Yeah.
Always. You know what I mean? Like it's my brachialis will flare up after a really hard hook session or a really hard top roll session. It don't matter. My brachialis is what's flaring up. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's in charge primarily of elbow flexion. Like a lot of people think bicep a lot elbow flexion, but it's mainly brachialis, the majority of that. So
the only time the bicep outdoes the brachialis is when you're completely palm up and you're curling that way. Exactly. As soon as you start adding pronation to it, your brachialis is taking more and more and more off of your bicep. That's why reverse curls will work your brachialis harder than anything, because it's basically your bicep is completely out of the picture.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. Little training tips for those who are listening there.
Yeah. No, that's why I don't even do palm up curls anymore. It is all hammer curls or reverse curls. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't do palm up curls at all, because I'm kind of in the same camp as Todd Hutchings and even Devin. Like you don't need your bicep as much as people think you do. You just don't. It's everything.
Todd Hutchings. Yeah, Todd Hutchings says that a lot. Yeah, I honestly don't do. I mean, my general strength stuff is really revolving around pull-ups and sometimes rows off the floor, and that's basically what I stick to there. And the rest is just like hand stuff, and I get my elbow flexion from that too, just maintaining the position, and that's basically it. But never this hardly at all.
So Shane says he's only with PCB because of the drugs.
That's right. Can't wait to go to one of y'all's practices, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Kurt says that it's all about drugs. Kurt says, tell that to Tim Lewis. Well, yeah, Tim Lewis always stops people like this on his biceps. So yeah, he needs big biceps.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you need elbow and elbow flexors. Absolutely. Yes.
For sure. But yeah, I guess I can talk about some of my team members too, man.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, this is a free form thing, man. Whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, you've already met like one of the shining stars coming up there with Corey. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna do. I mean, he's got that match coming up with Eli Lanning in November against VAL. So that could prove pretty. Eli's definitely a monster. So we're gonna see. If Corey can get that stop on him there.
What I told Corey was if he could stop the hit, he's in the match. It's a matter of stopping that hit. If he can't stop that hit, he's going to get flashed just like everyone else that goes up against Eli. But if he can stop it, he's in the match because he's strong enough to do it. It's just a matter of whether or not he can stop it. And
for sure,
it really does come down to that. It's going to come up to setup, table IQ, and whether or not he can he can stop that hit. Yeah, Corey, we kind of nicknamed him Not So Little, is the next big thing in North Carolina if we can keep him interested. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Shane said.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, so much potential there. So I got to keep egging him on there. And, besides that there, I was kind of surprised, I need Antonio to get back in the ring like I know he can. And that was an interesting situation. You remember at the Clash, he ended up losing to McKinney, Israel McKinney, I think it was.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually pretty surprising to me. There was something like he was telling me that happened previously there, but I'm like, man, like I want to see Antonio on the podium already. Like I know he can do it. Like I just need him to pull the same way he does in our practices, so he can just like get it done, man. So that kid, man, just you felt him before. He has so much potential.
Oh yeah, I mean, for such a small dude, he's insane. Like he's absolutely insane. Again, taking on somebody like Philip Dang, you better bring everything. You know what I mean? You better have the complete game. You better have 100%. Speed, setup, table IQ, strength, all of it. You better have every bit of it. He's got 90% of it. You know what I mean? Like it's insane.
Yeah. He's a very, very complete arm wrestler there, pretty much. And so, yeah, it's definitely something I want to see. Yeah, his brother Fernando too. He has a match. I guess this one actually be a banger, and I can't remember if it's the 6th or the 20th against Jamie James from Virginia. Yeah, that dude. So yeah, that guy seems pretty strong. Fernando, I know, has definitely been training a lot too. So yeah, then we can't forget, of course, about Logan. You know, with Corey coming into the mix, man, it seems like Logan got a little less attention there, but Logan's still a freaking beast.
Hey, I remember Logan, and like I said, once you have him for a year, you can call him yours. All right, I'm just saying, once you have him for a year.
Yeah,
I remember meeting Logan when he first got into the sport, and super strong kid. Last year he was the strongest strongest young man, excuse me, in North America at the age of 16.
Yeah.
And he could rep 600-pound deadlifts. I mean, the kid is unbelievable. And I of course I'm going to call him a kid. I'm 46. You know what I mean? So, the kid is unbelievably strong. I never want to hook him. That's for damn sure. And I remember sparring with him a bunch, and I love his energy. Like, he'll be nice and calm, and then like at the end of practice, it'll just be slam, 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 slam. And and sometimes you got to put the young man in his place. And I don't know how long I'll be able to do that, so
yeah. Logan's definitely got a lot of energy about him, man. Can be very intense bowler. He's definitely what I really like about Logan in particular is just we saw this exemplified when he pulled that VAL in the amateurs when Devin was there. He is so explosive, and he catches a lot of people off guard with that. Even me at times, with how much he can like just connect. He reminds me of Bryce a little bit with how explosive he is. And so I'm just like, man, once he gets that pronation right, that cup right, he is gonna be a lethal weapon, man.
Yeah.
So much.
It's the same thing. Once he makes the connection, and you look at it, and I watched him VAL. He took in May. He took first, right, and left in super heavyweight amateurs.
Yep.
Now, yes, and I'm look. He knows I'm a very real dude. You know this too. I'll tell him straight up. He arm wrestled ugly, but he won it on heart. He won it on heart and strength, and I'm proud of him for it. He did a great job. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where, okay, I would look back at that video, and I know it meant a lot to him. I saw him get very emotional afterwards, and I felt for him. I wanted to be there with him, but obviously I couldn't. I'm glad you were. But I mean, it's one of those things where I would go back and watch those tapes and yes, celebrate them, but also learn from them.
Yeah.
How did you end up in such ugly positions? How did you end up there when your strength is 100% here? So how did you end up here? Right. Go through that, learn that, see what you can do to tighten all of that up and make that. No, it's not Logan Purdue. It's Logan. No, that's not his last name, is it?
Purdue. Yeah.
It is Purdue. Yeah, Logan Purdue. Yeah. Sorry. I'm mixing it up with Logan Bittinger and Logan, the other one too, that I pulled another Logan. But yeah, no, it's Logan Purdue. Yeah. But I mean, if he can figure out how to stay here, or here, even better, he's golden. It's just a matter of staying there, so
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're going to continue to work on that for sure, man. And there's definitely a lot of other guys that are like on the brink of being able to be ranked in the crew too, just a matter of time. So got a lot of bright guys there. I
mean, it can't be too long for Nick, I would assume, right? Can't be too long for him.
Yeah. Nick is definitely he's gunning for sure. Trying to put that work in. He's been very consistent. He's also been like trying to keep up with everything while he's been doing his cut. He's cut a significant amount of weight. Him and Neil Liu, they used to be significantly heavier, and they just been getting leaner over like the past 2 years every time. Well, I'm sitting here getting fatter, and they're getting lean. So
they're eating the whole vegan foods. You're eating the processed vegan foods.
Yeah, those carbs. But yeah, so they've been trying to like maintain as much as possible. But I still want to see Neil bust out with that left, because he has a lot of potential on that left arm for sure. And so yeah, just a matter of time, man. It's great seeing and a lot of these new guys that are coming in, just like brand new, and like I just see all the potential here, man. it's just so nice to be like part of this, watching them grow and all this stuff, man. It's just awesome, bro.
Now, see what Shane just said actually makes a lot of sense. He said, "Oh man, Purdue is an anomaly. Got to keep him away from that desperation Kings move this early in his career." And I agree. No, see, and that point I agree, because his Kings move is a desperation move.
Yeah.
Right. It's I got blown open. I can stick you here. That's where I'm going to stick you.
Yeah.
He's not setting the traps. He's not thinking about hitting there. It's more of a, oh shit. And so he's absolutely right. And that's not a dig on Logan. That's why the Kings move was called a desperation move for so many, was because of that exact reason. It's so much different if you're setting the traps to go there. Whereas, oh shit, I have nothing else to do except this, so there's a big difference there. And I agree. And I think that, it's one of those things where everybody that works with Logan should be trying to keep him center table as much as possible and just use that massive amount of frame that he has.
Definitely.
To stay there. Yeah, he's very, very good. I can't wait to see what he grows into.
Yeah. And I mean, another thing about Logan there, I mean, I don't know. No, he did bust it out a couple of times. I mean, his press is very scary.
Yes,
very
it is. Scary. Yeah, I felt it. It's not fun.
Yeah. It was not fun for me either. And I like most people's press is like I can stop. And like his, I was like, it's like, get off me, dude.
No, his press is not a lot of fun at all.
Yeah, so much frame behind it. Yeah, I mean, he told me he was. I mean, like people have their thoughts about like how bench press affects things, but I think it kind of plays a part. Like me personally, whatever. But he told me how he was like benching like 450.
Yeah. And for me, I don't think it plays a part in what people think, because you and I both know when you press, you shouldn't be using your tricep at all. It's more of an internal rotation, and you're dropping your whole body. You're actually locking your bicep more than your tricep. But
You know what's funny about that is like whenever people have like these debates about like what muscles are involved in the pressing, I always remember this funny clip of this one guy when Jerry Catterall was going against Gennady, and like right at the edge of the pad, you see Jerry go like this.
Yeah. Now
like, see,
he cheated for sure, but you have to do what you have to do. That's where I will definitely agree with Shane. Is I think that bench does. I don't think it has a direct carryover, but I think it does carry over somewhat to side pressure in I think more of a defensive than an offensive way. Meaning the stronger this joint is right here, this connection is right here. So obviously benching, overhead pressing, etc. The stronger this is right here, the harder it's going to be for your arm to travel this way, unless you want it to. So it's going to naturally increase your side pressure. Also, if you're turning in, you're connecting with your pec and your leg. Right. So now that bench pressing, and pec deck, I think pec deck actually would transfer directly.
Yeah, it's like,
because you're literally like this. So I think a pec deck, obviously we don't have that stuff. A lot of us in our houses. So the next best thing would be a bench press, an overhead press, stuff like that. But side pressure, I've heard, is anchored in your rear scap more than anything. It's and that's coming from like Todd Hutchings, Paul Lynn, like, guys that are known for having good explosive side pressure. It's locking in that rear scap, getting everything rotated back, and then coming forward as a unit. Once you lock all of that in, then you have a lot more side pressure. Obviously your elbow is really key and all of that too, but that you really, you just condition it. It's not like you can really make your elbow stronger, because the joint is the joint is the joint. You know what I mean? The tendons will get stronger at their own rate.
I keep beating them up, man.
Iram says, I hope you two are doing well and getting those gains. We're trying, brother. We're trying.
Hey, Iram, what's up, man? It's been a while since I've talked to you, man.
He's another one. And can't wait to see him again. He's strong as shit.
Oh yeah. Iram. Yeah. Who did he beat last night? At Campbell City. He beat Scotty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Iram killed everybody at Campbell City. Right and left. He's over there drinking beer afterwards, pulling me, and I'm like, bro, you're drunk and you just pulled two freaking you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I was chopping it with Iram. You know who I still want to see. I know he hasn't really been active lately, but him and Damien, I still would like to see that one day.
Oh, right now it'd be there'd be no competition whatsoever. Damien hasn't been on the table. So I mean, if Damien ever did come back, he would need probably 6 months to even compete with Iram right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but then around that time, though, I would have liked to have seen it back then. So I still think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Kurt said easily too. SOB looked like the guy from Saved by the Bell. I mean, he was just blowing through people. Shane said internal rotation to side pressure. I'm not a strong lifter, but I can easily full stack the pec decks around my way for full sets. And I'm a side pressure guy. So I think that, absolutely. Pec deck, I would say, is 100% carry over to side pressure. 100%. For us mere mortals that don't have pec decks around us so that we can't afford to go to the gym or whatever, we have our own home gyms. I think a 15 to 20 degree incline bench, because flat bench is too easy to tear your pecs and your shoulders and all that shit. So I think an incline bench is definitely better. Plus you're working more of the top of your joint.
Yeah.
When I do my rows, I'm doing everything for the top of the back. So I'm doing standing rows. So it's more, I'm bringing my arms up here instead of down low, because think about it. You're not looking to row here.
Right.
You're looking to row here. So when you're rowing, everything up here should be your focus, your trap, your upper lat, your scap, your rear delt, all of that stuff. So absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely some good training tips here. I got to incorporate upright rows again. I stopped doing those a long time ago, but you're absolutely correct. Yeah, I mean, got to focus everything. Yeah, and I was thinking about doing more like face pull type stuff too as well.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. I don't do face pulls. I don't know why. I don't feel that I'm comfortable. To be comfortable. Iram just said that he did a double bench of 405. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Iram, that's elite for your size. Like, that's world elite.
You need to join a powerlifting comp, man. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, for real, that's insane.
Yeah, no doubt. No, how much are you weighing right now? He's like 150, 160.
He's. I mean, no offense, he's tiny.
Yeah, he's tiny. He called you tiny, Iram. You got to get him. You got that.
I mean, he is. He's tiny, but the SOB's putting a 4 or 5. I never even got close to that. I think my max bench is like 260.
Yeah, I'm not even putting up that much, man. I think right now I might be able to put up 350, maybe. I haven't even tried though. I usually just do a bunch of reps.
Shane just said his max was 353 for a triple.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's Shane.
And that's Shane the Goliath. My goodness, man. Yeah, that's super impressive, man.
Shane agrees with the rear delts being your anchor for side pressure. So that's why I do my upright rows. So he says face pulls are a necessity. I do the upright rows, which still works your rear delts. So I'm good. I'm covered. You're
good. So many things we can do, man. I mean, you can get so boggled down with the amount of movements you can do for arm wrestling. It's crazy.
No, I really try to keep things very simple. And you have to understand too. Yes, I'm building side pressure, but I'm not a side pressure puller.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm never gonna be. So it's just not. Yeah, he was 165 at Camel City. He's 185 now. All right, so he's not so tiny. 185 is not tiny.
Still, I mean, that's like it's interesting too when you see numbers like that. I mean, because bench press seems to be one of the things that's affected most by your body weight out of like most other lifts. Yes. Like it's crazy how much like you can drop down just doing a little water cut or something like that. Ridiculous. So that's very impressive.
He says that was in the bodybuilding days, and Shane said, "Go away. We all hate you now."
Oh my god.
I mean, that is elite. That's like world elite for anything under 200 pounds. It's got to be. You know what I mean? It's got to be. Yeah. It's crazy, but
no doubt.
Yeah. So okay. So we're getting. Let's just say we're getting close to the match, right? Do you have like a switch that you're flipping that you start getting more confident, more almost borderline arrogant, where it's like this guy doesn't belong at the table with you? You know, you got that I'm gonna kill him no matter what kind of deal.
Yeah. I mean, during my training sessions, I tend to think like that, just to, because you have to be confident going into something, right? If you don't believe in yourself, how are you going to perform at your peak? Yeah. So you have to tell yourself, I'm going to be able to beat this guy no matter what. And, I even if you lose, I mean, at least you went out there in the right mental state, right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it gets pretty hype in this very room, thinking like that. And, yeah, I mean, especially I guess when I feel the best is like, ironically right now, I don't feel the best, obviously, but like when my pronation numbers start going up, that's when I feel like really good. Cause I'm like, oh man, if nobody can turn my wrist over, I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, when I was doing my 1 rep maxes and all this stuff, it was, if I felt great, like in my lead up to John, I felt like super good. So it felt super strong. You know, I was doing the deadlift for 130 pounds at that point.
Nice.
And that was when I felt the best. And
so that was your max, 130?
Yeah, 130 on the deadlift. And I will say I want to adjust my form when I come back, because I would do it more like really towards the outside when I would try to pronate like that. And I think I like, you know, a lot of people they have different thoughts. I don't know what you think about this, but I want to do it to where I'm like more center of my body, picking it up like that. Or even just more focus on like table lifting.
So my thought is doing it on the outside, like, you know, towards the outer knee, and doing it more of this, you know, where you're lifting more like this. And the only reason why is because you got to think you're arm wrestling that way when you're out there. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to always mimic what I'm doing on the table. Now, when I'm doing my Ryze stuff, I do it a lot more in because I'm center. Right. But I'll also do variations where I'm doing it from the side as well. Now that's when I was doing the 1 rep maxes. I don't actually do them anymore. Because I noticed with me, it was a weird thing, but I noticed it didn't really matter where my numbers were. Yes, I was building strength. I mean, it's impossible not to, but they weren't carrying over to the table like I thought they should be. Like, so for instance, my max on the pronation was 135. That was the most I've ever done.
Nice.
And I had a rise of like 90. And I did that really easy. The 90 was easy. I had a lot more in the tank that day. Okay. Not saying I do now, saying I did then.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I know 90 is a very, very respectable number. And I had a ton more in the tank that day. So when I started moving things to the table, obviously you have to put that in your head that, hey, this is going to be an ego check. You know what I mean? Like, because I couldn't move half the weight that I was moving off the floor on the table, off the pulley on the table. So I was like, hey, you got to get over it. Like, get it out of your head, whatever the numbers are. And some of the numbers started with a 3. Okay. Like, I had to get over that shit. You know what I mean? Like 3, I haven't seen that since year 1. Like, what are you talking about? And, you know, I had to get over that shit quick. And then it was one of those things where, okay, what movements do you want to do on the table? So for me, it was the high pronation. Instead of direct rise, it was the same rep, but then you split the belt so that it's attacking your rise and your pronation up high. Right. So it's trying to turn you this way instead of just strictly this way. Right. So it's trying to turn you this way. So now I do, you know, a form of that. Right. Okay. That's off the table. A low pronation, which is just over the thumb, you know, that's that. And then I just do back pressure. That's my back pressure days. Side pressure is the high multi, everything from the front though, because you think, you know, I kept going from the side for the side pressure. And I'm like, wait, my opponent isn't starting over here. Like, he's starting here.
Right.
So I have to do this.
Yeah.
You know, like, everything's got to be this or this. It can't be this. You know what I mean? Like, if I need to do that, I do this, you know? So, you know, so it's one of those things where I was like, no, so I started doing like high multi from here, low multi from here, and then a wrist wrench to attack just the wrist. And the same thing. So that takes care of your 6 basic movements. I always do cupping from a high pulley as well. And then to keep the flavor of doing the stuff off the floor, I do dynamic curls with that stuff now.
Okay.
So like, okay, I'm not doing 130, but I was very close to 100 pounds for 1 rep, like a 1 actual rep, not a static, but a 1 actual rep. I was very close to 100 pounds in my last lead up. So that felt pretty good, where I was actually doing a real curl for almost 100 pounds.
Oh yeah. Strong.
You know, so I felt pretty good there. And this time around, that was the biggest compliment that I got, was everything on the table feels a lot more connected.
Oh yeah.
So even though my numbers are nowhere near what they were, my table feels better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's all I care about, because honestly, I can give a shit about the ego of, I lifted this much. I want the table to feel better.
Exactly.
And so now I'm literally progressing on the table.
Yeah.
Kurt says, I'd argue training closer to center will keep you from getting so far open. He says, but I'm shit. So I wouldn't say that, Kurt. You're not shit in any way. But it all depends.
His words. No, I'm just kidding.
It all depends on how you want to train. Like, if Isais knows he's going to get out here, then I would argue training more out there would be more beneficial for him. If that's where he wants to go, then yes. You know, obviously fundamental arm wrestling is always good to train. However, if you are a non-fundamental arm wrestler and you know you're going to end up in an open top or a Kings, then train accordingly. It would be my thing. I would never push an open top or Kings or a flop press on any new person. I think that those are after your 1 year mark at bare minimum before you start training them. Hell, I didn't hit my first Kings move until I was 2.5 years in. I hit a bunch of open tops, but I never hit a true Kings. And I remember who it was against. It was against Damien.
Oh,
we had been arm wrestling all day. And that day I just happened to be feeling really, really good. And if he tried to keep his hand, he really couldn't move me much. So then he says, all right, Ted, I'm going to hit you as hard as I can and not give a shit about my hand. You good? I was like, yeah. And when he hit, I was not expecting that much power because of what I've been feeling all day.
Yeah.
So when he did that, I swung completely out. And I remember my left knee actually hit the ground. I was kneeling on my left and I just went like this and stopped him. And then I felt good. And I just looked at him and he was trying to go. And I was like, oh, I could sit here all day. He goes, you for real? I was like, yeah, I'm good. And he was like, holy shit. And I was like, you just forced me into my first Kings, man. Thanks. Nice. He's like, hey man, you're welcome. But yeah, it was an incredible hit because he didn't give a shit about his hand at that point. Cause my pronator ripped his fucking cup immediately. Immediately. So he just went with a flat or sideways wrist or bent wrist and went sideways. And I was like, oh shit.
My goodness. Yeah, man. Good old David there. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons like training it like that towards the outside, why I ended up developing my Kings that much. Completely unintentionally. I thought I was, just solid, just because I will look at Devin and that's basically where he would have his elbow at. Right. Yep. And so unintentionally as an ignorant puller, I just kept developing that same angle. And I think that's why I ended up.
I would say try it, dude. Try it for your next training block and see what that season brings you. Right. We're still babies in the sport. You and I both. So try it. See where it brings you. If you hate the way it feels on the table, then switch back to the outside elbow. You know what I mean? Like you've got a long, long time ahead of you, brother. It's not like it's not like you need to worry about if you change something up for this training block, So
definitely.
Yeah. Hey man, it's been a hell of a friggin' conversation here, but we were at that hour. So
for sure.
I'm gonna say good night to you. I appreciate you for being here, man. And thank you for educating me a little bit on the veganism and stuff like that. I mean that. That's good stuff.
For sure.
I appreciate that.
Definitely.
And I want to thank everybody for coming in. I also want to give you the floor for just a minute, and you tell anybody, or say anything you want about your team or you or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just drop on a positive note. I mean, so far in my time in the sport, man, I just want to say, it's been amazing getting to know everybody in the sport. It's one of the best communities that I've been a part of for the past 3 years. All the people are amazing here. Everybody has very, great talents, great character, basically all the way around. Such a niche thing that we do. We all come together from all different walks of life. So it's just it's a privilege to be on here with you, Ted. I really appreciate you inviting me on. And I just hope everybody, keep training hard, keep trying to build your communities because this sport still has so much room to grow. And I'm living that with my group now, and I feel very privileged to do that. And just keep pushing, keep being brothers to each other, brothers and sisters, and just reinforcing each other in a positive manner. So, yeah, it's been great.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And it's been an honor to have you on. Seriously, man.
Definitely.
It's so I'm gonna say goodnight to you, brother. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I guess you go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Take it easy, man. You have a great night.
You too. Take it easy. All right, peace out.
Hey, Bellinger, I see you in here, my friend, my brother from another mother, Ryan Bull Bellinger. Belanger, excuse me. Jesus, my wife keeps reminding me that I've been saying your name wrong. I'll call Jonathan Hauser for the rest of my life too, even though it's Hooser, but whatever. Anyway, it's good to see you. I know you're late. It's okay. I caught your video with Donnie earlier, man. It was awesome. Great talks, great insights on a lot of things. So that was really cool. If you guys haven't seen that, go check out On My Grind or On Our Grind arm wrestling our YouTube channel. If not, look on my feed. You'll see it. I shared it. But anyway, I thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the conversation. And thanks for all the comments and the love and the continued support. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and share and all of that good stuff. We'll see you guys soon. Take it easy. And don't forget, January 10th, 2026, Camel City 4, big guys. Let's have some fun. Anyway, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next Monday.